Hello, my name is Nick Deck, and I primarily work with our students and families here at Winona Lake. And growing up, I used to love watching Star Trek with my dad. William Shatner and the crew would get into such remarkable situations scattered all over the universe. From the trouble with tribbles to the mirror universe where evil Spock has a cute little goatee, they experienced and delved into all sorts of incredible stories. Yet one thing that the show was built on was a premise that Earth had achieved world peace and was going out into the rest of the universe to spread that peace. In spite of everything in this series, I always had the hardest time going along with this. I can suspend my disbelief for tribbles and even an evil mirror universe, but world peace was something I knew, even as a teenager, was too fantastical for mankind to achieve on their own. Yet this is something we all deeply crave, this desire for true and lasting peace. So today, we are taking a look at what Jesus has to say about peace in the Beatitudes. Matthew 5:9 says this, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God." We often think of peace as simply the absence of war, but anyone that has had any sort of relationship knows that just because there's not an active fight or quarrel does not mean there's necessarily peace in a household or among friends. The word here, peacemakers, can be translated a few ways. The first part of this phrase we are unpacking is peace. This is a Hebrew word, shalom, which means a great deal more than peace. It encompasses this idea of wholeness and well-being and in harmony with everything around you. It's much different than simply the absence of conflict. The second part of the phrase is something along the lines of maker or worker. When someone makes something, it's not accidental. You also don't accidentally show up at work and accomplish some goals, take part in a few meetings, or whatever, all be through random happenstance. No, it takes willful and purposeful decisions and choices. Depending on what is going on, it might take a lot of choices to keep going at it and to keep doing it. I lived down in Indianapolis a few years ago, and I was a truck loader for FedEx. I was severely lacking funding in my life, and I was able to become approved for overtime at the loading dock. I don't know how many of you have ever considered how many boxes can fit on a FedEx truck. Well, I have. And then how many pounds of material one is lifting, hauling, and climbing with, and then placing when each box weighs around 12 pounds, because every school district in the world seemed to all order new books that year. Well, I can still remember having to make willful decisions over and over again, each shift, to stick at it, because if I didn't, there would be consequences. This is the type of working diligently and purposefully and intentionally that is being used here. Jesus tells us those who seek after peace strive for it. I would even say wage peace will be blessed. This is what Jesus is calling us to wage peace. We often think of waging war, or the phrase used here has a lot of similar connotations. Peace is something to be waged, an active pursuit of peace with those around us, with those we encounter, with our families, spouses, siblings, sons or daughters, neighbors, coworkers, teammates, teachers, students, others on the road, in front of you, at line at the grocery, anyone you encounter online. Yep, those are people too, made in God's image, and we are to wage peace with all of them as well. So, what does waging peace look like? First of all, it's impossible on our own. The same way I couldn't believe that Earth achieved world peace for the premise of Star Trek because I thought it was impossible, on our own we will default to impatience at best, rage-filled violence at worst. Neither of those is waging peace. No one can become a wager of peace until they have fully found peace with God and received His peace for us. He has already made for me. Only then can I see others in light of what Christ has done. If God can have peace with me, then certainly I can wage peace to the person in front of me at Owens, or to the person online, or to my relatives, friends, anyone. As we wage peace with those we encounter, only then will we truly begin to represent who God is to those around us.